Well, how long is this interview going to go on for?
I don't think that Dr. Walsh ever in his mind thought of the 5 words, "What is in it for me?" Everything he did, whether it was discovery, whether it was teaching, whether it was patient care, it was always in someone else's best interest.
What he actually taught us was to really understand every aspect of a disease process, perfect it, then share it.
I must tell you that when I first met him, I thought he was my intern. He was so young looking. He looked like a young resident. Then I found out the hard way he was the chairman of the department.
There has not really been a professional day in my life that I haven't been influenced by Dr. Walsh and the opportunities that he has made possible. Gosh.
Dr. Walsh has been almost like a second father to me. He's taught me and developed the foundation for my career, but more than that, he's taught me how to interact with other people, how to care for people, how to think of other people around me, and to me, that has meant the world.
Dr. Walsh is an amazing man, and he helped me grow.
Think about how many people passed through the Brady under his tenure there who were inspired to innovate and discover in their own special way. And that to me is the most significant contribution that he's made to our specialty and to the medical community and beyond.
He was a master at picking people to be faculty. He was a master at picking the residents. He was a master at identifying fellows to be associated with the Brady.
Dr. Walsh has been a model of how you build an academic medical center, and it's no surprise that that has allowed so many people who trained at Johns Hopkins to go on and build their departments and become a leader.
He was an amazing mentor to me, and I think it can be very intimidating going into a very male-dominated field, especially at the time that I was coming through, and especially in a topic like prostate cancer.
He was a phenomenal teacher, and most importantly, he made me a superb urologist, which, believe it or not, enabled me to save my own life from a bout of prostate cancer.
To me, that was the greatest contribution to transitional urology, was taking that fabulous basic science discovery in the laboratory and taking it to the operating room and saving thousands of men's lives.
And it gave us just incredible resources in terms of pieces of prostate and normal tumor pairs. And we were able to do very similar things made possible through the radical prostatectomy.
He is perhaps the most empathetic listener I've ever run across in my life.
I love a quote that's attributed to Schopenhauer, says that talent hits a target no one else can hit, but genius hits a target no one else can see. And I think his genius is really second to none.
I spent 4 years at the Brady and learned many, many things from Dr. Walsh, but a lot of what we learned from Dr. Walsh isn't in Campbell's. I learned a tremendous amount about work-life balance from him. We all spent many holidays and festive events with his lovely wife. We watched his 3 sons grow from young children into grown men.
Nobody just says Patrick or Peg, it's always Pat and Peg. So they are, joined at the hip when it comes as far as the Brady's concerned.
In the anatomy of the field of urology, I think Pat Walsh is the heart He's kind of the beating heart of what goes on.
Pumping his ideas and expertise out through the various arteries to all the rest of us.
And the heart, not lost on me, is the center of emotion, sort of as we look at it. And really, we've all been touched by his love as well.
If Dr. Walsh was an organ, I think he would be the brain, just because he's so smart and he's constantly thinking, constantly innovating.
It would be the eyes. His blue eyes are very clear, they're very piercing, and it's like they can see into your soul.
I would say the nervous system, and that was his ability to charge people to new heights in discovery and innovation.
He'd be the nervous system I would select on the basis of the fact that the nervous system is what controls the body.
Well, I'm not sure this is part of the anatomy, but the part that I would use to describe Dr. Patrick Walsh is soul.
He is so good in so many things and ways. And for example, his sense of humor, his jokes, nobody can tell jokes like that.
Actually is a jokester. So you have to ask people about what your favorite Walsh joke is.
When you're seeing all these scientific publications and textbooks and you hear about the discoveries he's made, people may not realize how funny he is.
I paraphrase a story that I'm sure he will verify. He started at the Brady as a 37-year-old chair of urology, maybe 36, and he met a very famous Hopkins physician, and the physician laughed and asked him, "What do you call a group of urologists? A gaggle of geese?" And Walsh drew himself up to his 5'11" and said, "No, a pride of lions."
If you had a wide-angle camera, you would see right behind me his picture. And many times I would just ask, what would he do? And then that's the right thing to do.
His ability to get people to buy into the religion. What are we going to do that's going to make things better tomorrow? And tomorrow, what are going to make things better for the day after tomorrow?
Which, by the way, was his mantra. Find something you're passionate about. Find something that will make a difference, especially a difference in patients' lives, and work hard, and the rest will fall into place.
What I remember is you always practice urology as it should. Be honest with your patient and always tell the truth.
What I took away from that and what I trained everyone that I was in the operating room with is the body should not know that we've been there. And so can I remove the kidney or the prostate and the body not know that I've done that? And to me, that has been my mantra, and that was learned from Dr. Walsh.
And this is all for the benefit of patients, and that is why you have an endless number of patients who support his projects, support him, because he saved their lives, as he did with me.
I became a partner for a number of reasons, not the least of which is I think the word needs to be promoted about the quality of care that people like Dr. Walsh give, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be anything other than a bump in the road from a health and life's journey perspective, and certainly Dr. Walsh makes it that way.
When I had my own surgery, I was surprised because there were video cameras videoing my surgery, and I asked him, and he said that he was trying to compile a video to be able to disseminate this information. And I was very pleased to participate in that. And I was shocked when I was in China maybe 10 years ago that there were surgeons that had a copy of Dr. Walsh's CD, and it was something that they looked at.
We proceeded with the biopsy, and then a few days later he called and said, "Well, I have to tell you, you have prostate cancer." What a gut punch. I said, well, what do I do now? He said, well, you're going to get a lot of advice from friends and others. My advice is go see Dr. Patrick Walsh at Johns Hopkins. He's the Pope of this disease. My wife and I went down to Baltimore from New York, and he agreed to do my surgery. And of course, he did it brilliantly and successfully and became my savior and friend.
I have a handful of heroes in my life. He's one of them.
Pat gave me the gift of 27 years with my husband additional. I can never thank him enough for. Sorry.
I will say, Pat, you don't expect any payment from me, I am sure. But I feel like there would be absolutely no way for me to pay you back for all of the things you did for me, my career, all of the teaching, the mentorship, the sharing, and helping me achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. And it really taught me a lot about life, not just science.
Dr. Walsh, thank you so much. As one of the thousands of men you have treated, you've made so many years of my life possible. You've made them happier. And I know that you've done that for thousands of others. It's got to be the greatest feeling a doctor can have.
Dr. Walsh and Peg, thank you for all the gifts of knowledge and support you've given me. I really love you guys.
Congratulations, Dr. Walsh. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me, for the patients, and for the field. You're amazing.
And congratulations on the incredible legacy that you leave at the Brady, to Dr. Walsh and Mrs. Walsh for just an incredible impact on the institution and really on all of mankind.
I really want to say thank you for all you've done, all of the conversations, all of the opportunities. You've made a difference.
Pat, congratulations on this yet another milestone in your storied career. I can never thank you enough for all you did for me and for my family. God bless you.
We so appreciate you. We love you, buddy.